Mr. President, my office recently released the 2025 Senate calendar, and as everyone now knows, our schedule next year will be aggressive. Friday votes will be the norm, and we're not going to be having much in the way of recess in the first 100 days. That's because we have a lot of work to do, and we're not going to get it done on the kind of abbreviated schedule that we've had in 2024. One of our first priorities, of course, will be confirming President Trump's nominees. The American people handed President Trump and Vice President-elect Vance a decisive mandate in November. And we're going to honor that mandate by making sure that President Trump has the people he needs in place as soon as possible, starting with the heads of the cabinet departments. Democrats can certainly make the schedule a little less painful if they accord the president some of the deference Republicans accorded to cabinet nominees under President Obama. But one way or another, we are going to get the job done. And if that means some nights and weekends, so be it. Our other early priority, and another reason why the schedule will be particularly aggressive in the first 100 days, is passing a reconciliation package with a once-in-a-generation investment in border security and immigration enforcement. The border and enforcement crisis under President Biden has left a gaping hole in our national security and undermined respect for the rule of law. And that ends in January. Enforcing the law and protecting the integrity of our borders will become administration policy on day one, and the Senate will move quickly to back up the President's efforts. The package we'll be taking up will, among other things, include substantial resources to increase the number of immigration and customs enforcement officers and Border Patrol agents, increase detention space, and provide the barriers and technology we need to fully secure the border. We'll also focus on other key national security priorities, like addressing our lagging military readiness. Other priorities for the first 100 days include kicking off our efforts to use the Congressional Review Act to undo some of the Biden administration regulations that are weighing down our economy. And of course, continuing work on our reconciliation package to expand the tax relief Republicans delivered for Americans during the first Trump administration. I mentioned our national security priorities, Mr. President, and let me just say that national security is going to be a priority for Republicans throughout the year. We are finally now considering the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2025 here in the Senate this week, almost 3 months into the new fiscal year. Under Republican leadership, the NDAA will not be put on the back burner. I'm also committed to ensuring that we return to regular order consideration of appropriations bills. I will devote extensive time to floor consideration of appropriations bills when they are ready to avoid an end-of-the-year pileup and problematic continuing resolutions, something with which right now we are very familiar. Deciding how taxpayer monies is spent is a serious responsibility, and it deserves serious floor time. Members should plan to take a lot of amendment votes during this process and throughout the year. That will mean taking tough votes at times, but that, folks, is what we were sent here to do. Finally, Mr. President, members should expect to take up a farm bill in 2025. We're now more than a year overdue on the next bill, and farmers and ranchers in my state and around the country are waiting for Washington to update farm programs to reflect current agriculture needs. And I'm committed to bringing a bill to the floor in the coming year. Mr. President, there are no two ways about it. 2025 will be intense, but we have a real opportunity here to deliver for the American people on continued tax relief, on border security, and on national security and beyond. And, Mr. President, we are going to seize the day. Mr. President, I yield the floor and suggest the absence of quorum.